digest. So I did not, I was kind of at a crossroads. I did not know where to go, what to do. Then when I came back to USA in February 2020, and in April, Dr. Rajan started this class, and within maybe in the second or third class, he came to the sutra. This sutra hit me. This sutra hit me, saying that the only guru is that unmanifest divine. So with the strength of the sutra, then I contemplated. It took me 6 months after that. Not 6 months, in April, and then it took me another 4 months. Finally, in August of 2020, I walked away from my guru, nice and clean. So that is the effect this sutra had on me. Any questions?
What does anavachchedat mean?
Unbroken. Anavachchedat means unbroken, like Nairantarya. Okay, we'll move on to Sutra 27. Tasya vachakaha pranavaha. The sound or the tasya means his. That's what tasya means. Okay, like eshaha, saha. Tasya is another way of addressing tasya, his. His vachaka, his communication, his speech, his pranavaha. Pranavaha is generally defined as the sound of Om. Meaning, Ishvaraha communicates through the sound of Om. With me? Ishvara communicates with the sound of Om. Tat japaha, tad artha bhavanam. Bhavanam. Tat japaha, tad artha bhavanam. So tat means that, right? When you do japa on Om, when you do japa we know that meditation. When you do that meditation on Om, when you vibrate on it and do japa on it, then you understand what really it means, what really the sound of Om means. That is why there is so much of the emphasis on listening to that sound Om. The way I look at this as an electronics engineer, I have already told you, my background is an electrical engineer background. So I look at many of these things from that perspective. So I also told you about how we have an antenna, a virtual antenna on top of our head, right? And we have a transmitter receiver here near just behind the sternum, the Atma chakra, not the Anahata chakra. Anahata chakra is between the breasts and at the center of the body. If you put a hole through the center, that's if you think of a channel right through the top of the head all the way to the perineum, where the Muladhara chakra is. If there is a cylinder, if you think of a central cylinder, that is where the Anahata and all the chakras, all the other 7 chakras are located. But the Atma chakra is right behind the sternum. So the Atma chakra is the transmitter receiver. It is the one which will transmit your japa outside. I mean, it will make necessary things to get it to transmit it. So for transmission, we know, and for transmission and for reception, we know that we need an antenna, right? This antenna is on top of your head over the Sahasrara chakra, 6 inches over the Sahasrara chakra is where you have your antenna, the tip of the antenna, the tip of the virtual antenna. So there is no physical antenna. There is a virtual antenna. When you are sufficiently energized and when you are sufficiently focused, this antenna will sprout out. And from the tip of the antenna, 6 inches from the top, from the tip of the antenna, all whatever mantra you are, if I am saying Haim, or I am saying Om, 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 from the tip of the antenna, it will go. So in communication, in electrical communication, from the think of a radio, and you have an antenna in the radio. Think of old radio or transistor set. It would have an antenna right on the top of the transistor or the radio, and all the broadcast is being received by the radio. It is only one-way communication. From the radio station, it comes here. You cannot send anything from the transistor. For that, you need a walkie-talkie or a cell phone. Cell phone can do both. You can receive and send. That's why it's called a duplex system. Anyway, let's not go too deep into all this. For all this, for all radio communication, TV, radio communication, there's something called a carrier wave. Carrier, C-A-R-R-I-E-R. Just as the name indicates, the only purpose of that is to carry intelligence from the radio station to your TV or radio or television set. So there will be a carrier wave, and on top of that will be the intelligence. What is the intelligence? A movie. That is the intelligence. So the intelligence will be put on top of the carrier wave, and the carrier wave will have the strength to bring it to your house. The intelligence by itself is weak. It doesn't have the strength to bring it all the way. So it's put on the carrier wave, and the carrier wave will bring it to your radio. And then when you tune it to that station, you receive that, and then the carrier wave is split away because it has no further use, and intelligence is extracted from the radio, and then it is fed to your speakers, and that's how you hear, and then it is displayed on the screen. That's how you see it. The same thing with cell phone also. So tat japa tasya vachakah pranavah. So that communication, that Om, the Sutra 127 and Sutra 128, when you do the japa on Om, you will understand that the entire communication from the divine takes place through the sound of Om, to the vibration of Om. It need not sound in your ears, but the vibration of Om, that is how he sends us. And probably he will put the intelligence on top of that, whatever information. So that will be received, the carrier will be stripped off, and then the intelligence will be given to you. What is that intelligence? The intelligence will say, all of you, say, I will pick a name. I like to pick on Priya. So it will say, Priya, today is Sunday, wake up at 5:15, 5:30, get ready for the class. So that is the message will come. But the message is so weak because there are so many other things that are going on because of the chitta vrittis. So this message cannot be heard. That is why we need an alarm. When the chitta vrittis are quietened and still, then after that you don't need an alarm. You will automatically wake up. Okay. All right. Nobody is asking questions, so I'm assuming that it is quite clear to all of you. So I'll go forward. Tatah pratyakchetana adhigamah api antaraya abhavah cha. Tatah pratyakchetana adhigamah api antaraya abhavah cha. So cha is and. Abhavaha. Abhavaha means in Sanskritam, abhavat, end, over. We say, that's what we say. When the film gets over, we say, Chalana Chitram abhavat. When the class gets over, we say, Vargaha abhavat. Vargaha is over, class is over. Abhavat. So it comes from that. It is not there. So what is not there? Pratyak Chetana. So Chetana is all abilities, right? Chetana we saw. When did we see? In the pre-class we saw about Chitta and Chetana. We said all living things have Chetana. That is the ability to reprogram themselves, to adapt themselves to the environment.
Artificial intelligence.
Yes. Artificial intelligence. The ability to reprogram yourself. So what does that mean? You're on the street and suddenly a bus comes, immediately you jump away, right? To safety. That ability. You don't just stand there. Then if you stand there, then we say, why is that person standing like a stone? That's what you say, right? Why is the person standing like a stone or a rock or a piece of wood? Because these are all non-living things and they don't have the ability to reprogram. So they will just stay there. They won't move. They don't have the ability to reprogram themselves, adapt themselves to situations, to conditions, to environment. So that's the meaning of Chetana. So so from this japa, when you do this japa, the innermost all this innermost chetana comes forth. Everything comes forth, and also all the obstacles are not present. No obstacle is present. All obstacles are removed. So that is the Sutra 129 for you.
All obstacles are removed
Yes,
when you get the full
understanding of this Om. And also on Sutra 27 on the Pranava. Once again, the pra refers to Prakrishta. Prakrishta means that which is in the core of everything. So here you have to take it as Pranava. Pranava also if you take that word pranava, it is also, there is a anu is also there in that word, anu. Anu is the smallest particle.
Sorry, Kumar.
Just
Where are we now? Which is sutra?
27. I went back to 27.
Okay.
Tasya vachakaha pranavaha.
Hmm.
Pranava. Pra refers to prakrishta, that which is the core of everything. Na, anu. Ana is anu. Anu is the smallest particle. So anava means of the nature of the smallest particle. Pranava means the nature of the smallest particle. So basically what it is saying is, the understanding physics, the smallest particle is with all the vibrations are carried in this universe. So all that we are saying is Ishvara communicates via the smallest particle. And if you really think of it, it is the electromagnetic waves. That is how the communication takes place. The sun's rays are electromagnetic waves. What we see every day, the sun's light is electromagnetic. That is why, and the radio communication is electromagnetic. Communication from here to the cell phone communication, that the cell phones that you use, it communicates by electromagnetic waves. So all this, or any distant communication, is always electromagnetic. And that is what is with respect to the unmanifest divine also. He communicates through the electromagnetic medium. Any questions on that? I'm going to stop here. Maybe we'll do Sutra 30. You can go on probably. If you don't have any questions on, because it's a very important set of sutras, 23 to 29. If you're all clear, then we will move on to 30. I may have just have enough time probably to do a couple of sutras. Or we can have a small discussion. Either way, that's fine with me. Any questions? No questions. Okay. Okay, let's move on then. So,
Can you go a little bit down, Kumarji?
yeah. Okay. Sutra 120, 130, Vyadi. So then we are saying, okay. Why is that? We are not able to hear this Om, this communication from the divine. So why is that I'm not able to have that surrender? So Sutra 130. Sutra 130, I have a 10-minute reminder to tell me that. It's a 5-minute reminder, sorry. We have just 5 minutes to wind up. Vyadi stayana samshaya pramada alasya avirati Bhranti darshana. Bhranti darshana. So Vyadi. Vyadi is disease. Stayana. Mental inertia. Mental inertia. Samshaya. Samshayaha. Samshayaha means in Sanskritam doubts.
Mental inertia means, how do you tell in Tamil?
How we say in Tamil?
Uh,
Mental inertia means for everything you feel like, oh, should I do this?
Is it laziness?
Laziness is actually, alasya is laziness.
Uninterested.
Disinterested, you can say.
Disinterested.
In Tamil, I am not able to get the right word. Hold on. As we go through, I may get that word. I will tell you.
Okay. The divine will tell you, right? That's what how you tell.
Samshaya. Samshaya is doubts. You always say in the class, Eka samshaya means I have a doubt. Pramada. Pramada is, in Tamil we say, right? Pramada padtitam. Onnula vishayatha pramada padtitam. I mean, wait, very trivial thing, he made it into a very big issue. Pramada.
Or it's really a big thing. Oh, the food pramadama irunduchu. Like that also we can
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah, in Tamil we'll do that, but in Sanskritam, pramada means carelessness.
Okay.
Why I'm saying this is, I don't want you to take exact meaning of Tamil and put here. That's why I'm saying this. Alasya means laziness.
Avirati.
Avirati means pleasure, sensual pleasure, pleasure from the senses, eyes, ears, all that, nose, tongue, everything, sensual pleasures. Bhranti darshana is delusional perception. So what are we saying? What are we saying? So the things that are deluding the chitta, Bhranti darshana, delusional perception to the chitta, are to our chitta, to us. We are the program entity, right? We are the chitta, correct? We are all chittas, right? Yes. So we are all chittas. What are all the things that are deluding us, deluding this chitta? So he's saying the obstacles deluding the chittas are disease, vyadi, mental inertia, doubtfulness, that is the samshaya, pramada, carelessness, trivializing things, being careless, laziness. I don't have to talk about that, we all know. And Bhranti darshan and avirati, sensual pleasure, or lack of dispassion, not having a sense of detachment towards things that are happening around. We get attached,
Okay.
ishifying. So sensual pleasure. So these are the wrong perceptions or delusion, despair because of failure to read. So these are the things that happen to us, and because of which we are not able to we are not able to put a hold on all the chitta vrittis. The chitta is caught in all these things. So we have to extricate the chitta from all this, right? The program entity has to be extricated from all this. So that's what we will be seeing as we go on.
So these are the obstacles that stops us
Yes.
us from getting near to Ishvara. That's what
Yes.
it says.
I wouldn't say getting near to Ishvara. These are the obstacles that are preventing us from even looking at our chitta vrittis. Only when we put a cap on the chitta vritti can we go to Ishvara. That is one way. The other way is if you have complete surrender.
It says complete surrender. But how, what is mean by, what are the criteria of complete surrender?
Complete surrender means if the divine gives a message, today you must jump into this well, you will go and jump. You won't ask a question.
No, for that one, we have to get.
And if
into-
if there is a message for you that you should supply food to Kumarji every day, you won't ask any question. You'll come and supply food morning and evening. This is what people do, right, Priya?
Huh?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just saying, when there is a tough call to be made, at that time we forget about the divine. Surrender means when there is a divine message to drop everything and do something, we will question it. We will say, oh, no, I have.
No, the divine understanding the divine message, knowledge of understanding the divine message, that itself, it's a big task, right? A big challenge.
Yes, the surrender is that, being able to completely get in tune with the divine. I will do everything to get in tune with the divine. That is the surrender. What is that? So if you have to meditate every day for 30 minutes, I will meditate for 30 minutes. If I have to meditate for 1 hour, I will meditate for 1 hour. This is the most important thing for me. And slowly that surrender will come. Some are gifted. They come with that surrender. If you take Andal and Mirabai and all that, they came with that surrender in them. It was natural to them. Okay, let's stop here. It is 6:57. Others have to go to the class.
Yeah, but this one we have to get into more Kumarji, because I don't understand most of it.
What is that you're not understanding?
1.30.
1.30 is the diseases that he is describing. We will go through this again next week. We will start with 130. I just gave you an introduction to 130. So these are all the things that are stopping us from doing anything towards becoming spiritual. That's all he's saying. Anything that we want to become spiritually evolved, to evolve spiritually, these are the things that are stopping us. That's all he's saying. Laziness, the diseases, various diseases, pain here, pain there, mental inertia, doubts. So many doubts we have. We cannot take one path and go. So those are all the things that stop us. So we have to overcome all that. That's what he's saying. How we will overcome, he's going to say in Sadhana Pada. Next chapter, he's going to say all that. Okay? Priya, you are very quiet.
No, because I'm yeah, but I don't I'm not completely understanding this one.
What is that you're not understanding? You have to tell me what is that you're not understanding. Why don't we discuss in the next class? It's already 6:59. I have to close.
Yeah.
Okay. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Kumar. Namaste. Thank you, Kumar.